Bombshell government files, hacked, leaked, authenticated, and impossible to ignore, reveal that Israel designated Charlie Kirk a free speech terrorist, slated for neutralization. Even worse, the same documents show they've warned President Trump that he's not above being designated with the same label, and neutralized in the same manner if he refuses to toe the line. Trump, pale and alarmed, understands that this isn't political theatre, it's a direct present danger to his life. In a moment, we'll lay it bare, the files, the evidence, and the truth they are killing people to keep under wraps. But before we get into all of that, let's talk about staying one step ahead of the deep state via our partner VP.net. VP.net isn't just another VPN, it's the next evolution in private browsing, built with unbreakable zero-logging architecture. That means no records, no traces, literally nothing for governments, deep state operatives, or foreign bad actors to seize. Visit vp.net/TPV for more. If you want to unmask a false flag, ask who benefits from the chaos. Within minutes of Charlie Kirk's assassination, Benjamin Netanyahu went into overdrive on social media, trying to hijack the conversation online and steer the story his way. But the spin didn't stick. People could see that Charlie was the last thing Netanyahu wanted. A high-profile young conservative voice turned against the regime, demanding answers for staged attacks, for covert operations, for the slow war they'd been waging on behalf of the globalist agenda. Netanyahu understood the danger. Kirk could peel conservative America away from him, expose the alliances that had been pulling strings. So they moved fast to neutralize the threat. But rather than facing retribution, Israel are profiting from the fallout, because they sent a clear warning to the president himself. He is not above being branded a free speech terrorist, and he could be dealt with the same way. Already, the balance of power in Washington is shifting. The president, who campaigned on America first, has backflipped on nearly every major position, trading that banner for a new loyalty. MAGA has become MIGA, Make Israel Great Again. The leader who once railed against endless wars is now authorizing strikes in nations like Iran, the very countries he spent his career insisting America should not get involved with. And now the champion of free speech is suddenly proposing hate speech laws and tight controls, because Israel is demanding it.
Charlie said, that there was no such thing as hate speech. He obviously, no one anticipated what happened to Charlie, but you have always been.
Follow the winners and you'll find the authors of the false flag. Earlier this week, Israel quietly seized control of the US TikTok algorithm, gifted to them by a terrified Trump administration. Oracle's Larry Ellison, the Zionist billionaire with high-level Mossad connections, will be in control of the algorithm, controlling the information that young people in America consume. There will be no more Charlie Kirk-style content. Anything that questions the Zionist and globalist agenda on the most popular youth social media platform will be crushed. And this is no exaggeration. We're talking about the same Larry Ellison who boasted that US citizens will soon be on their best behaviour when digital ID and AI surveillance systems are monitoring their every move.
Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on. And it's unimpeachable. The cars have cameras on them. I think we have a squad car here someplace. But those kind of applications using AI, if we can use AI, and we're using AI to monitor the video, we're going to have supervision. In other words, every police officer is going to be supervised at all times. And the supervision will, and if there's a problem, AI will report the problem and report it to the appropriate person.
Starting to see the pattern? They want us watched every second, policing us for thought crimes and speech violations. Anybody who refuses to comply will be dubbed a free speech terrorist like Charlie Kirk, and suffer the consequences. And nobody's exempt. They've sent the message to the very top, to President Trump and the White House. Comply or face their consequences. How did this happen? They staged it a piece at a time. While we slept, they stitched together global control, laws, media, tech, and then pulled the thread. This is an accident. It's by design. Just ask former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson.
Former British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has made a sensational claim that a bugging device was found in his personal bathroom after it was used by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. In his book, Unleashed, Boris Johnson writes that after Netanyahu visited his department in 2017, his security team found listening devices in the bathroom after the Israeli Prime Minister had used it. Johnson writes in the book, and I quote, "Thither Bibi repaired for a while, and it may or may not be a coincidence, but I am told that later when they were doing a regular sweep for bugs, they found listening devices in the Thunder box." Netanyahu, who was then on his first ever visit to the London office, asked to use the bathroom that Johnson, who was then the Foreign Secretary, describes as similar to the gents in a posh London club, which exists within a secret annex. Notably, Israel has been accused of snooping on friendly nations even in the past.
If you think Netanyahu wouldn't dare try the same trick at the White House, think again. Trump knows the truth, and he's terrified for his life. Here's Max Blumenthal, an anti-Zionist Jew, blowing the whistle on what Netanyahu got up to with Stingray spy devices during his visit to Trump's White House in 2019.
Does the President of the United States fear for his life?
Yes. Yes. I mean, obviously he fears for his life. And I was told that he feared for his life before the 2 assassination attempts, one coming within a millimeter of striking his head. I mean, let's not forget about that.
But I mean, just to clarify, he doesn't fear for his life because of Ireland.
I mean, I've been told, yes, that Israel is a major source of concern for Trump. I mean, think about it. What would happen
this
if
is
the
our
president
ally.
just if he
That's why I'm
suspended arms
confused.
to
Yeah.
if he suspended arms to a country that carries out assassinations all across the globe, that specializes in assassinations, that has an entire wing of its intelligence services that conducts assassinations, including with household goods like pagers, would you not be scared? So yes, Trump is scared. And what I learned from this source, who is a Trump insider, someone who talks to who talks to people in the Oval Office, people close to Trump, is that during one of Netanyahu's many visits to the U.S. this year, some figures in his retinue, Israeli agents, placed electronic devices on emergency response Secret Service vehicles. The Secret Service found them and they reported this to the White House. You know, these would be emergency response vehicles that would respond to an incident potentially involving the president.
Now we have government documents that reveal President Trump fears for his life, specifically because of Israel. Don't go anywhere. We have the receipts coming right up. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. The price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this bombshell interview with Mel Gibson, who says 3 of his friends who had terminal cancer were cured by the very same ivermectin and fenbendazole available at pillsforever.com.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
And what did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin?
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah.
That
Yeah,
stuff.
I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Remember when Israel launched its attack on Iran and then turned to Washington demanding that America pick up its tab? Billions in taxpayer dollars, the lives of service members who swore to defend America, all spent to finish the fight Israel had started. Just days before the first strikes, Iranian state hackers pulled off one of the most devastating cyber ops in modern history, seizing a staggering 3 terabytes of top secret Israeli intelligence. Not just military secrets, but compromat. Files detailing Israel's vast surveillance operations, including deep cover programs and false flags inside the United States. According to the Mossad, the world isn't just a stage, it's their stage. They cast themselves as the directors, producers, and lead actors in a global psyop engineered to manipulate perception and advance their agenda. This isn't a theory, they admit it themselves. It's right there in their official motto: wage war through deception and trickery.
We create a pretend world. We are a global production company. We write the screenplay. We're the directors. We're the producers. We're the main actors. The world is our stage.
This is Mossad's old office. Its motto from Proverbs 24:6 says in so many words, wage war through deception and trickery.
At the heart of Israel's global deception lies a sprawling web of espionage and blackmail on world leaders and CEOs. According to the Mossad files obtained by Iranian state hackers, Jeffrey Epstein wasn't Israel's only undercover agent. He was just the tip of the spear. Among the revelations, what they describe as Netanyahu's personal blackmail archive, private footage of world leaders and politicians captured through hidden cameras in their homes, along with hacked phone and laptop data. And now Jewish Israeli intelligence officials are coming forward, including Ari Ben-Menash, to confirm that Israel has been blackmailing US presidents at least back to Bill Clinton.
I believe that the American government is sort of trapped by the Israelis. Jeffrey Epstein is one of their tools to trap them.
And what do you think of Dershowitz's denial?
Hold on a second. I want to give you an example. Bill Clinton, President Bill Clinton, Ehud Barak, met Arafat in the 90s, and there was no deal. The reason was Epstein. They were being blackmailed by Epstein. Ehud Barak was also a friend of Epstein, the prime minister of Israel at the time. But he was being blackmailed by the Israeli right wing as well. And they stopped an agreement with Arafat. They were about to reach an agreement there for a two-state solution. But that was stopped because of Epstein. They were both being blackmailed by Epstein.
And so Jeffrey Epstein, in a way, presumably being used as a tool by the Israelis, helped to change the course of history in this region I'm speaking to you from.
Of course, a change thing. And they trapped a number of U.S. presidents by using Jeffrey Epstein. And it wasn't only about sex, it was also the money issue. Where was the money coming from? But everything is stuck over Gaza. And I believe the Israelis have the American government captive due to what happens with Epstein, or what happened in the past with Epstein. Rupert Murdoch, newspaper, Wall Street Journal, put out that card or something, a birthday card Trump sent to Epstein. Where do you think they got it from?
Pay close attention to the former Israel intelligence officer's face when he explains why Israel hasn't assassinated Trump already. He couldn't say it outright, but he strongly implies that they have already tried.
Why do they need Jeffrey Epstein? Why can't they just assassinate Donald Trump? I know there's a lot of speculation. There has been that John F. Kennedy was assassinated with Israeli intelligence help. Why do they need things like Jeffrey Epstein?
Somebody tried to assassinate him, didn't they? Before the election. It doesn't always work.
The result of wide-scale surveillance on President Trump, hundreds of US officials and multiple world leaders? A world dancing to Israel's tune, American taxpayers bankrolling a foreign agenda, and a quiet surrender to globalist power. The price is clear. Forever wars, controlled speech, and civil liberties on the chopping block, as Tucker explains.
You hope that Charlie Kirk's death won't be used by a group we now call bad actors to create a society that was the opposite of the one he worked to build. You hope that. You hope that a year from now, the turmoil we're seeing in the aftermath of his murder won't be leveraged to bring hate speech laws to this country. And trust me, if it is, if that does happen, there is never a more justified moment for civil disobedience than that, ever. And there never will be. Because if they can tell you what to say, they're telling you what to think. There is nothing they can't do to you because they don't consider you human. They don't believe you have a soul. A human being with a soul, a free man, has a right to say what he believes. Not to hurt other people, but to express his views.
This is the war being fought right now. As more evidence trickles out about shady moves after the assassination, ask yourself, who benefits from the false flag? Why was a reconnaissance plane circling the area hours above the shooting, only to come back in time for the shots? Why do forensic ballistics experts agree that the official narrative makes no sense? Why does the so-called text exchange the FBI released sound nothing like something a real person would send their partner? And why were cameras taken down minutes after the shooting and the footage withheld from the public? This story is only getting started. Don't swallow the official line. No more Building 7s, no more grassy knolls. Do not comply. Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the crimes of the elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends and family about us, and join the People's Voice Locals community for exclusive and uncensored content. We can't do without you.